I just started going out playing and gigging a lot, and kind of gigging around kind of the local kind of tech area, kind of playing like the King's Arms down there. We did a gig down there, and then some other people in tech saw me play, and there was a couple of guys like, oh, I thought that was really good. Can you come and do this? So I went and did a gig with them, and then I'd meet someone else outside of tech through that gig with them. So just by gigging on the circuit, you'll soon discover it's a really small circuit. You'll just start to meet lots of other players. The best advice I can give you really is just go out and do as many gigs as you can. Like go and hit the jams, and as Kat said, you don't have to play at every single jam. Just kind of meet people. You know, what do you do? Oh, I'm a guitarist. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. What kind of stuff do you do? And don't be afraid that if you can't say, oh yeah, I did the Radio 1 Live Lounge last week. Like don't let that fool you. Just say, oh yeah, you know, I'm just kind of new to London. I'm just hitting the scene really, and just kind of meeting people. And people will be like, oh, that's really cool, you know. And there are older guys in the scene who want to bring younger, fresher faces into the industry. You know, they don't want to keep using the same guys all the time because it just gets a bit boring after a while. You know, they want to get some new guys in. So I would say, like, be patient, go out and do loads of gigs.
Get to know people, because it's so important to just be friendly, and then people will call you. It is about playing, but it's also about getting along with people. And you know, we all got along as guys on stage. We were actually all friends, you know. And now look, you know, we're all here together. That's what I'm saying. Just be friendly and practice and gig, please. Because the most important thing is knowledge of gigging, and you know, not being nervous when nervous for the wrong reasons, because you're unprepared or you're not ready to, you're just not ready to play. You know, you might have all the chops in the world in your bedroom or in your practice room or in your lessons. You know, you might on the pads, and then you get there and your hands are just stiff, because it's gigging experience that's needed. So even 50 quid gigs, £100 gigs, whatever, go and do them middle of the week, finish your work first, and just go for it and play, and then it will happen if you really, really want it to, I think.
Spitting out your words like bullets, and I guess once again I'm your target. No, I've seen it all before, and I'm caught up in something I don't get, and I don't understand how I got here.
The thing about majors nowadays is they haven't got the kind of money they used to have, and they do want you to do all of that work before they will kind of sign you. You know, even Warner in US have just announced that all of their albums are now going to be funded by a fan funding site called Kickstarter. Have any of you heard of Kickstarter? I mean, how crazy is that? They're not even really doing their job anymore. So it's really, really hard. So me and my management team said, you know what, let's not wait around anymore. We got outside funding. I did a venture capital deal which let me keep 50% of my CD sales, which is insane. I mean, I kept all of my publishing as well, and she said, let's just do this. We got a team around it, and we just gigged the hell out of it. Ended up playing on this morning with it, which is mad as an independent artist, and got playlisted on the radio and stuff. And this was all in my second year at uni. I did my first album and promoted it the whole time I was at Tech. So I was shaping my career as I was doing the degree, which I think is really important. I think you should be gigging the whole time you're doing the degree. You shouldn't be waiting to finish the degree and then be thrown into the world of the music industry, because it's scary enough as it is. You need to be gigging now, and you need to be kind of shaping what kind of sound you want, if you want to be an artist or if you want to be in your own bands. It's very different to the world of session playing.
I think my favourite thing about being at Tech was I just got really constructive feedback on my playing all the time, which I wouldn't have got anywhere else. So I felt like my playing accelerated 10 times quicker than it had when I'd been just kind of jamming at home before I'd come to do the degree. So, you know, you have all this stuff thrown at you every week. You know, you go to Styles with Wito, and he gives you, right, here's like 13 different examples of how to play through a 2-5-1 or something, you know, and you go away and your head's like rammed full of all this stuff he's been showing you. And then the next week, you move on to neoclassical sweet picking or something. You just every week you're given this huge, massive thing to get your teeth stuck into.
We'll put those suits and boots to shame. So take one step closer to me and do you.
I had so much fun on the course. Honestly, it was such a laugh. Like, it was so nice meeting, finally being in such a great space with other people who were like big dreamers and wanting to go out on there and do it. And I remember everyone kind of taking the Nicky out of Phil Simmons when he was like, "Oh, I can't wait to get on the pop scene." And I was like, "All right, mate." 2 years later, he's playing with Jessie J at Wembley Arena.
Time you walked into the room, it's a joyride, and every time I'm with you, got that drama too. It's all about you.
Bass players, you're expected synth bass, probably a bit of keys, backing vocals, and sometimes you're expected to have an array of pedals, but nowadays the synth bass is taking over that, so that it's expected that you'll have something at your disposal, and you can borrow stuff. You don't have to go out and spend $1,000 on the latest synth bass, but it's important. And sometimes they don't even tell you. I've walked in on auditions and they've gone, "Do you play synth bass?" And the first time, because I didn't even know what it was. Like 4 years ago, I walked in. They said, "Do you play synth bass?" And I was like, "What's that?" And they said, "It's that thing there, about that big." And I went, "Yeah, why not? Well, why not? It's not. Well, it's not that it's not hard, but you're not going to be stretched on it too much." Hopefully, or you're going to have enough time to make sure that you're up. And same thing with backing vocals. Do you do BVs? Yes. Like how long have I got? I was on the Roxanne gig. She said, "Do you do backing vocals?" And I went, "Yep." When are rehearsals? 3 months. Got time, So you've got time to get it together, because it's not just about being a bass player anymore. It's about being a sort of multi-instrumentalist.